Hi, welcome to the Passionate Spinner podcast. My name is Tracy. You can find me as Schnüffeltier on Ravelry and Instagram, and today I'm doing my November favorites video. I started this series thing last month and asked for feedback, and you said that it was something you did enjoy, so I decided to do it again. So let's get started. My favorite work in progress for this month is the Sillet hat, for one reason, because it's still a work in progress. Everything else I really enjoyed making is finished, so I decided to have the work in progress favorite be something that is in progress. So this is the hat. I'm still not any further than when I showed it to you last time on the podcast. The yarn is from Stimpy Lab. I think it's called Podcast Hero. It's her DK weight. Still have no idea where the ball band went, and this is the hat pattern. This is what it should look like in the end. Not sure if this will ever focus because it's... Oh well. It's a nice hat. You will see it when it's done on the podcast. So yes, gift knitting. I'm still trying to gift knit. Now, I am in a very different location again today. I'm actually sitting on top of my oven, or not on top, on the little bench that goes with the oven. And my husband made a fire this morning, and it's really hot. So I'm melting a little bit over here. Now, my favorite finished object for the month of November is my iDays cardigan. I did weave in all the ends. It's completely finished. I have to show it for real on the podcast with me wearing, but right now I'm not, because like I said, I'm already melting over here. So this is it. It's the iDays cardigan. The pattern is a free pattern on Ravelry. It's by Cerelia Rose, and it's written for Barocco yarn. I did use Barocco yarn, but not the one that's called for. So yeah, I'm really happy with this. And I did notice that it has almost the same color as a heavily cabled vest that I made for my dad a few years ago. So when he was here, we did twinsy pictures, and you can see that on my Instagram. So next, favorite yarn that I got in the mail this month is my Life in the Long Grass grab bag. I have not showed this on a podcast because it just arrived this week. It looks like this. I'm not gonna get it out because, like I said, I'm gonna show it on the podcast. It was like the potluck bags, I think it's called, that Hedgehog Fiber does. And she did the same thing. 3 skeins of yarn, random mystery stuff. And this is what I got. I really love these two. I'm not such a big fan of the middle one because it's very pastel colors, and I don't like pastels. So I'm not sure what to do with it. Either destash, or I might ask a friend if she could over dye it to make it a little bit more me. I look weird today. Okay, so my favorite book, knitting book. I didn't get anything new except for the Knitter's Cable Source book, I think it's called, and I have not had the time to look through. I'm sure it's amazing, but as I haven't looked through, I didn't bring it to show you. My favorite pattern that has been released this month is hands down the Fleury by Michelle Wong. She designed it for Plucky yarn, Plucky Knitter yarn. Can you see it? Can I hold it somehow? This way? I do love cabled sweaters, as you might have noticed. I love Michelle Wong patterns. This is especially nice. But as you can see, as a European person, it's also especially expensive. Can you see this? Does it focus? Please focus. Can you see it? Over €9 for one pattern. And then I don't have yarn to go with it. This might have to wait a while because, yeah, almost €10. That's just a lot of money for a pattern. Favorite tool, didn't write down anything because I didn't use anything really, except for, the normal stuff like measuring tape and stitch markers. So there's nothing. Favorite sewing FO is my Christmas collection. I worked on this for a while and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I brought one item, and this is the one item that I'm keeping for myself as a reminder of the Christmas collection that I did, and it's one of the needle cozies. And they all have a dark green lining. So yes, this is my favorite sewing FOs for the month. I made 10 bags in different sizes and 8 needle cozies. Favorite sewing pattern for the month is the Ethel tote bag by Swoon Patterns. It's a free pattern, and I'm working on this one right now as a custom order for my husband's best friend, and he wants to gift the bag, the finished bag, to his girlfriend, but I have to do some alterations because this is just a tote bag. There's nothing to it. No zipper, no inside pockets, nothing, and he wants both of these things. So I have to change quite a bit, and I also made it wider. So yeah, let's hope this will work out. Now, favorite fabric. There's only one thing I can show you for this. If you watch my podcast, you've seen this before, but my favorite fabric for this month is hands down the logo print that I got from Spoonflower. And my artist came back to me and she will help me. She already did give me new chip hack things with more white around, so the Spoonflower people will be able to make the fabric that I want. Oh wow. When I showed this on a podcast, I told you, I'm going to show you the fact quarter. I said that I really wanted it to be more space between the different logos so I can cut it better. And it has to be in the file. It's not going to work with Spoonflower. You know, you cannot change stuff there. So she changed the file for me. That makes more sense, right? So yeah, I'm in love with this. It's just turned out so nice, and I got some nice feedback about it, and I will have some PassioKnit Spirit promo bags in the shop next year. So that's the favorite fabric that I got. I'm gonna throw everything on the floor because I can. Okay, now let's go to favorite event. There are two things for me this month. My favorite thing I did in real life was the cookie baking that went on last Sunday with my two friends, and we made cookies like mad people. We worked for 7.5 hours. We did not pause. And we ended up with, I don't know how many kilograms of cookies, but each and every one of us had 4 filled tins of cookies when we were done. This is the smallest, and I'm just gonna show you. So we were really busy. I cannot tilt it over more, but yeah, we made cookies, and they are gorgeous and they taste heavenly. So that's the favorite real life event. And the other thing that I did this month, there was the Get Your Yarn Wishes Granted thing going on. And I did not ask for anything, but I did grant 2 wishes. And everything is ready to go in the mail on Thursday, because that's when I have time to go to the post office. So yeah, I did grant some wishes, and I hope the people who will get the things will like them. And yeah, like I said, I didn't ask for anything because really I do have all the things I need. So yeah, it was fun to do. Now, my favorite podcast for the month is the Yarn Hoarder podcast. She's very new. I think she has 3 or 4 episodes out. And she's one of those people who puts a lot of work in her podcast. You know, not like me. I just record, upload, and be done. But she does a lot of editing, and she puts a lot of thought into her podcast, and she always has a theme. And I do admire that. It's just not something I would ever do, because it would take up way too much time for me. So yeah, check out the Yarn Hoarder podcast. I'm sure you already have. If you watch me, you watch her, because you know, She's one of those people, she uploads one episode and she has 2,000 subscribers. So I'm sure you watched it. Favorite show for the month. What could it possibly be? Of course, it's Teen Wolf. I'm still working on rewatching all the episodes. I'm on season 5. And I did finish the first half of the season. So I'm starting the second half. I already started the second half, I think. And yeah, season 6 is on TV right now in the US. And I hope it will be on Amazon as soon as the first half of the season is done. I hope. Now, audiobook. I didn't listen to any audiobook this month. I just didn't feel like it. But I did read like a real book yesterday. I got my new e-reader and I didn't bring it because it's upstairs in the bedroom and the boys are upstairs and napping. So I did get my new e-reader and I filled it up yesterday. After I did all the shop update stuff, I filled my e-reader with all the books. And I started reading the first book in the Women's Murder Club series by James Patterson. I wanted to read those books for a while now, and I just never got around to it. I do have the first book as a physical, real book, and I did start it years and years ago, and somehow just never gotten around to finish it. And, you know, when I say I started it, I mean, I read maybe the first 30 pages, because when I read in bed yesterday night, I already surpassed the place I had written before. So yeah, I started this. I hope to be back into my reading, and my hair is really bugging me right now. I hope to be back into my reading mojo because I miss books so much and I just couldn't get myself to read anything. So I hope this will work. So on to favorite geekery. I have stuff. I have new fabric for bags. I have Superman, Batman and Aquaman. It was a deco fabric, like canvas, and I ordered it a while ago and I cut it up this month. So the Batman, they all have 2 different motifs and I already know what these will be. They will be a new type of bag for my shop next year. So these are the 2 Batman motifs, and each bag that I will make will have both motifs. So that's the Batman. Then we have Superman. These 2 motifs. And 2 different Aquaman motifs. Look like this. Honestly, I have to say I've never been a fan of Aquaman. But with the Aquaman movie coming out, I think this is a good idea to have some bags with it, with him on it. And if he looked like Jason Momoa, if that's how you say the name, I would be very happy, but he doesn't. So yeah, that's my favorite geekery. I cut up the superhero fabric that I had laying around forever, and I now really know what to do with it. I have an idea in my head for a new type of bag for the shop, and these will be incorporated in this new bag. So it leaves me with the last 2 things: favorite food and favorite drink. And right now, although the sun is shining out, it's really bright and not Christmassy at all. I'm food-wise in a Christmas mood. Otherwise, not so much. I don't want Christmas to come around in 3.5 weeks. It's just, I'm not in the mood at all. And I have so many things still to finish. And yeah, it's the same every year. So, favorite drink? Another syrup for coffee. This one is the Lebkuchen. Last time I showed you the pumpkin spice. To be honest, they taste very much alike, but the Lebkuchen is not as intense as the pumpkin spice, which makes it more tasty to me. It's not so bam in your face. It's more like a subtle thing. So I really like it. And the other thing, favorite food from now until the end of the year, I can show them again. Christmas cookies. I could eat Christmas cookies all the time. So what I've done the last few years, I take one small plate, you know, a saucer. Is that the word? I think it is. The little plate you put on a cup. I fill one of these with cookies, and that's my cookie ration. Meine Ration. Don't know the English word. It's the cookies I'm allowed to eat in this day. So this is what I have done. And I am going to enjoy one of these as soon as I hit the stop button, because I want to so much. And I'm going to eat this one here. Although it doesn't look like much, these are my favorites. They are a just normal cookie dough. And there's white wine in the dough that, you know, the alcohol completely evaporates or vanishes during the baking process, but there's a little taste of it left, and I just adore these. They are very good. So I'm going to have this one now. I hope you all have a wonderful week, a wonderful month. I will have my December favorites up at the end of the year, of course, and I hope to be able to podcast next week. Until then, I hope you enjoy everything you do. Bye.